Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Welcome to episode 1.1 of the Rachel Z Project podcast. I am none other than Rachel Z. Today's topic of conversation is about revisiting episode 1, which was titled Why I Said Goodbye to Competing in Fitness. And yes, that still holds true. I retired from bodybuilding, or rather competing in bodybuilding, back in 2019. Regardless of this, I still work out at the gym, meaning I go to the gym and I lift heavy things up and put it back down again. And so this podcast is actually going to be an ode and a proclamation all about the deep meanings that come from building a strength practice for your body. It's about cultivating personal strength via physical expression of strength, kind of like body alchemy, right? A massive difference between my gym routine from before and after competing is the fact that I am no longer busting my poor butt on cardio equipment for 2 hours a day. Quite literally, the last couple of weeks before a show day, I would basically be married to the step mill, trying to run down my so-called thunder thighs. So it would be an hour before I would go to work and an hour before I would go to bed, basically in the evening, right before getting ready for a show. And that was deemed as necessary in order to get lean enough. And this is all to say that I developed a lot of resilience to power through a lot. Plus, this emphasized the importance of a really good playlist and music itself for you to just ensure that you can actually move through those 2 hours of cardio. But by no means was this enjoyable for me. I would say that these days, the majority of my cardio comes from dance and sex. And while I no longer touch cardio equipment so much anymore, I am much happier in the body that I am in and that I'm living out my life in. My body fat levels no longer feel like there's something that I'm fighting this never-ending battle against. And I actually love my time going to the gym to lift weights. And did you know that weightlifting and resistance training is actually an ancient practice? The asteroid Chiron in astrology is about being a wounded healer. And to go a little bit deeper, Chiron in Greek myth was both Achilles and Hercules' teacher and coach, and I like to call him their personal trainer. And I like to think of this as even heroes, every hero still needs a teacher, a mentor, a trainer, a coach, someone in your side, in your corner, rooting you on. And this is why we've rebranded RK Fitness to being Superhero Training and Fitness. By celebrating strength, we nurture and gift power to the superhero that resides within us. And this is why my personal approach to personal training and coaching has likewise shifted. My path and mission in this lifetime has only become more clear and aligned with the greater good of the universe. And so I will use this moment in time to drop a link to my Warrior Goddess coaching, which is about how I have infused personal training along with inner body health, such as hormone health and electrical health, along with supplementation, which will include our Nature's Apothecary Somo supplements as well. So all of those fun things, I will drop a link right here and in the description below, as well as the show notes. If life is like a video game, and it is, then competing in shows for me was a bit of a distracting side quest. Ironically enough, right now, the IFBB has recently come under fire and some controversy due to some sketchy sexual misdemeanor accusations, as well as some general corruption claims. And both myself and hubby can attest to the fact that some things happened that we saw and observed and were a part of, that we have some stories that we can kind of talk about firsthand, but I'm not here to air dirty laundry about that. Instead, it's more about the accusations that have come up in regards to some of the contracts that were created for these athletes being part of the IFBB, and especially if they were to win certain titles, because the Manions were known to basically have certain, like an agency where they would have these very questionable photos of these ladies that were under contract that they had to do. So it just, all of that was tied up into winning shows. And so if you really looked at it, yes, like it was kind of corrupt and politically charged, and I'm really happy I'm not really involved and I don't really have any more personal stake or emotional stake in that anymore. But I do see how tempting it is, right? Because the show day, I love the show day, right? Like the whole like glitz and glamour of the whole thing, wearing the sparkly bikini, getting your hair and makeup done, all of that I feel like can be better served these days by just having a really awesome photo shoot, because then those photos last forever. You can turn that into something of a work of art, because ultimately I would tell a lot of the girls, actually all of the girls that I coached, especially the ones that were competing, that at the end of the day, it's your body that's the trophy. Anything that these judges say in terms of what they want will change. They'll have judges like rules as to what they want, and then it'll go and change, or they'll just add a new category that perhaps your body type is better suited for, and then you've already spent all this time working your body towards being this other body type. So all of that is to say that you really just have to make yourself happy first, and unfortunately for competing, that doesn't end up being the case. But I digress. We shouldn't let all of this controversy distract us from the intrinsic value of building a practice of strength within ourselves via weightlifting and working out. And so I'm going to close this episode 1.1 of the Rachel Z Project podcast with a plea from me to give weight and strength training a real chance. And no, I don't mean a boutique fancy class, resistance class, like a group class kind of thing. I mean you one-on-one with the iron, or with a mentor or a trainer or a coach to show you exactly the basics and fundamentals to weight training. And if you have any questions and want to get all of that really great intel, you can always join us on Warrior Class, or even better yet, sign up for actual training in person if you reside in the area. Fun fact, breathing and weightlifting actually work really well together. There is a rhythm when you lift. So I always say you want to exhale with the effort when you're lifting weights. So inhale to wind up, and then exhale when you push. And so once you get into the rhythm of that, it becomes a lot easier to lift weight that might otherwise seem quite difficult. As per usual, I could go on a tangent about all of that, but I will use this time to say thank you for watching this video to the end. If you find any value in this content, please drop me a like, comment, and subscribe. Have a beautiful day, my friends, anywhere you reside in the cosmos.